All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, my name is Omoje. So Alfred, also known as the boss of all bosses. You can first say Credo, all right, which is simple. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at key actions you need to create lasting wealth, like the key actions, the things you need to do, all right, if you want to create lasting wealth. Remember, I said lasting wealth. Okay, I used to tell people, I said it takes 10 to 15, 20 years to build a brand. Okay, any foolish person can be rich, okay, but it takes the wealthy, it takes knowledge and patience to build wealth. Okay, it takes knowledge and patience to build wealth. So that's the difference between building wealth and getting rich. Okay, you can get rich and lose all your money, all right, but but if you're wealthy, all right, of course, believe me, the money just keep coming in. Okay, now so the first one we're going to be looking at, which is number one, you need to educate yourself about money. Yeah, you need to educate yourself about money. Now, the question now is, what is money? What is money? All right. I know you will say it's a means of exchange, which of course we all know that, but why must you even get money? Where is the money? So when you step into an environment, the question you should answer yourself is, where is the money within this place? Where is the money within this place? All right. Where can I get the money? Well, you need to educate yourself about money. All right. And one of the questions you need to answer, so why educating yourself about money is, why do I even want to get money? It's a means of exchange, we know. Okay, so why do you want to get money? Why are you looking for money? Why do you want to get rich? Why do you want to be wealthy? Why do you want to be wealthy? That why, okay, is the reason why a lot of persons, when they get to some certain road, they stopped. Because why? Their why would they stop there? Your why will make you to do things that on a norm your energy cannot carry. Then you have to now pull out your inner strength to keep moving forward. The why is very important. So why telling yourself why you need money? See, that why is important. Okay, so you need to educate yourself about money. All right, so now when you now know the knowledge about money, you now know why you want to get wealthy, you now know the reason why you need money in your life. Okay, it might be for your family. I hope a lot of people have different reasons why they want to create wealth. Okay, now after getting that, after knowing your why, all right, the next thing you need to do now is now to get a regular income source, and that's where you need to now work. Okay, because first of all, you have the why, all right, but you don't have the money to start the process. Okay, now the only way you can now start this process is to look for somewhere to work, because you need a regular income source. So I tell people, before you start saying you want to sack your boss, all right, your place of work, okay, is the first place you need to start creating wealth. Now, creating of wealth is a process, okay? So the first process after you educate yourself, okay, now you need to now get a job, a regular income. You need to get a regular income. So whether you're running your self business, okay, now, but if you don't have the fund to run a business, all right, what do you need to do? You need to get a regular income source. I've seen a lot of persons trying to look for who will come and bail them out. Oh, my uncle did this, my auntie did this. Instead of you to now start keeping malice with people you don't need to keep malice with, all right, why not you get a job first? All right, now from that job, now you have a regular income source. Okay, you have a regular income source, which is very, very important. All right, because from where you're working, the next thing you need to now learn how to do is how to make this money. All right, so you need to get a regular income source. You need to get a regular income source. Okay, so if you don't have the money to start up a business, go get something doing. Go work for someone. Go work for someone. Now, the first one, number one, you can go and learn skill, okay, learn some handwork and the rest, okay. But since you don't have the money to set up your own establishment, you don't have the money to set up your own small scale business, what do? You need to go and look for somewhere to work. One of the challenges a lot of persons have is they are not being humble to work. And I tell somebody, I said, you cannot be proud and poor at the same time is a problem. Okay, how can you alone? You're poor at the same time you're proud. I've seen people just full of themselves. Okay, you don't have a job. All right, and you're now insulting the next person that is working, saying, over my dead body I cannot do this kind of job, over my dead body I cannot ride Uber, over my dead body I cannot be selling, or I cannot do the POS business, over my body I cannot do that, and you don't even have income, you don't have money, you're poor. Okay, so I said, how can you be poor and be proud at the same time? All right. So you need to get a job. Now, when you get a job, from there, you now have a regular income source. And when you get a job, it's not a job to say you want to work 1 month, work 2 months, or work 3 months. Okay. Now you need to give it a space to say, okay, see, I'm going to work in this place for 1 year. I'm going to work in this place for 2 years. I'm going to work for 3 years. All depend on what you want to achieve. Okay. Now, within that period, now you have a regular income source, okay, that will last you for maybe 2, 3, or 4 years, okay, or maybe 1 year. All depend on your ability. Okay, now what will you do with that money? This takes us to our number 3: create a budget. All right, create a budget. Now, with your regular income source, you need to create a budget. All right, you need to create a budget. You need to say, okay, at the end of the month, okay, 10% is for my tithes. This one is for my this. This one is for my this. This one is for savings. Because whether you like it or not, you need to save. Remember that you have something you want to do and you need funds to run it, and you don't really have the funds, okay? And that is why you are working. All right, that's why you are working. So don't forget that there is something you need to do. And of course, friends will come. Believe me, friends will come. Okay, most especially when you start working, friends will come, families will come with their demand, friends will come with their demands. These all people will come. Okay, now some will even call you names just because you didn't empty your entire purse. Okay, all these are there, but in the midst of it, you need to learn how to save. That's why you need a budget. Let me tell you, if 10,000 is not enough, 100,000 will not be enough. And if 100,000 is not enough, 1 million will not be enough. Because the higher your income, okay, the higher your responsibility. I've come to realize that, okay, the higher your income, okay, the more responsibility you have. So if today you're receiving 100,000, all the challenges that will come to you, all your responsibility will not be more than 100,000. But the moment you move to 200, that responsibility will also move. It will also move. All right. And that is why creating a budget is very, very important. Okay. So you need to create a budget. All right. You need to create a budget. So what will you do with the budget? All right. What will you do with the budget? Okay. You need to now learn how to invest. All right. So now let's look at it this way. Okay. You can say 10% go for your tithe. Okay. You can say 30% go for your well-being. All right. Of course, you pay transport to work and the rest. Okay. Then you now say, okay, 30% is for savings, or maybe 20% is for you to invest, to multiply for you. Now, it all depends on your age. All right. Now, if you're within 45, 50, you need to invest. But we're within maybe 20, 30, okay, then you now need to work on the part to say, okay, Fee, I'm going to do this. From this one, I'm going to start up my own business. Okay, so there are some age you get to. I will not even advise you to go and start setting up a business. Okay, because it takes 10 to 15, even 20 years to build a steady brand. All right, and you don't want to put yourself into that shoe. All right, you really don't want to put yourself into that shoe. So the next thing you do now, okay, you now need to improve on your skills. All right, remember I said number 4, you need to now invest. You need to learn to invest. Okay, now the investment here is you getting assets. Now I call it equity. Now a lot of people don't know how to get equity. They really don't know how to do that. They don't know how to get equity. They don't know how to use their money to get equity. A lot of poor people are fighting with that. Okay, they don't know how to use their money to get equity, but you need to do that. Okay, you need to do that. So I'm going to leave it for that number 4. Okay, you need to learn how to use your money to acquire enough equity for yourself. Okay, then after that, you need to build an emergency fund. That's number 5. Build an emergency fund. Okay, an emergency fund. What an emergency fund does for you is sometimes you might just see somebody, for instance, somebody can just come and said, oh, this my car is going for 100 million, but right now I need money, and I'm giving it out for 30 million, or I'm giving it out for 20 million. Okay, and if you don't have an emergency fund on ground, you will miss it. If that's when you want to now start asking people to borrow you money, before you come, somebody will take it. The same thing with land. There are people that can just come and say, because they want to travel out, okay, and they are selling it 50% off. Okay, and when it comes to promos, let me tell you one thing. When it comes to things like this, okay, it's 50-50. The person selling is losing, you buying is also losing. Because why? You didn't plan for that incident to occur. Okay, but because you have an emergency fund, it's easy for you to take advantage of it. All right, the rich knows this. And sometimes, if the rich doesn't really have the money, that is where their equity comes in. What they do is they liquidate it and use the money to sort this one out. Okay, they use the money to sort this one out. All right, so you need to plan. Okay, build an emergency fund. Then number 7, I don't know if number 7. Number 7 is improve your skill sets. Improve your skill set, not garbage in, garbage out. Okay, improve your skill set. Okay, learn more, read more books. Okay, there are classes online. Okay, there are videos online that you can use to improve whatever thing you're doing. Okay, if you're a fashion designer, there's a lot of content online that will make you improve on your fashion. There are a lot of courses online that you can use. Okay, whatever you're doing, being a video director, whatever you are doing, there are courses online. Okay, instead of spending your own day trying to know who is mocking who on social media, who is dragging who is artist, what the latest stuff, instead of doing all that, why not you focus yourself, okay, your mind on what you're doing to improve on your skill sets. Okay, improve on your knowledge, improve on it. All right, so it's not enough for you to just get the knowledge. Okay, now remember, number 1 is educate yourself. Okay, you educate yourself. Okay, now it's not enough for you to just educate yourself about it. You have to improve on your knowledge. Okay, improve on your knowledge. All right, improve on your knowledge. Okay, then when you improve on your knowledge, now this is one thing again you need to do again is invest on a passive income. Okay, invest on a passive income. You need to learn how to invest on a passive income. Now we have the active income and the passive income. Okay, so you're working to receive money. That is your passive income. All right, passive income is anything you do with your energy to earn money. So if you're not there, active income, active income. Okay, anything you do to receive money. Okay, so if I'm a presenter, it's an active income. If I'm a footballer, it's an active income. If I'm an artist, it's an active income. What I'm doing right now is active income. Okay, so whether you like it or not, active income needs your energy to produce the resources for you. Okay, but passive income is an investment strategy. Okay, where the money will just be coming to you without you even putting your effort in it. Okay, what you just need to do is put in the one-time money, and the thing just keep multiplying for you. So it's called a passive income. All right, so you need to learn how to embrace the passive income. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we'll call it an end for today. We'll call it a wrap for today. So next week we're going to take the next 7, and you can't afford to miss out from it. My name is Omojeso Alfred. I want to say thank you for today. God bless you.